Okay, rolling.
So 3 points of contact getting into the cab of the truck. Just be safe about it. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do when we hop into the cab of the truck is we're going to check our seatbelt. We're gonna make sure that there are no excessive cuts or frays that would make it unsafe to use, and it buckles and unbuckles. We'll leave that on for the remainder of the test. Now we're gonna perform a safe start. We're gonna make sure that the brakes are set, the truck is in neutral. If it had a stick, make sure it's in neutral. And turn the key over, let the lights flash. We'll check for our ABS light to come on and off on the dash, and then we will fire it up. Okay. Now that the truck's running, we're going to build up pressure to 120 and 140 PSI. Between there, we should hear a governor kick on, shutting off the air compressor. There it was. So at 125 PSI, we heard a sneeze under the cab. That's telling us that the governor is working correctly. It came on at the correct PSI. Now we're gonna shut off the truck. Turn the key back over. Let all the lights flash. That's how you know that the battery's engaged. And we'll release the brake. If you had a manual stick, you would put it into first gear to make sure it's not rolling. We have the wheels chalked. Now we're going to hold the brake for 1 minute. So I'll get a timer out on my phone for 1 minute. And I'm going to put pressure on the brake and then start the timer. So pressure, the brakes stabilize, then I start the timer for 1 minute. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So on the test, you'll do the full minute, but for practice, we're just gonna pretend like we did the full minute. When I release the brake, I wanna hear a release of air, just like that. So that tells them that you were really holding the brake. So in that 1 minute timer, we didn't lose more than 4 PSI in our primary and secondary gauges, 3 PSI for a Class B. So we didn't lose any air. So there's no leaks in the truck that would be excessive that we would need to get checked out. So now we're gonna do the 60 PSI test. So we're gonna fan the brakes down till we get there. And we should hear and see lights that are explaining that we have low air and we need to pull over. So I'm fanning the brake to bleed off the pressure. Right at the red line, around 60 PSI, you can hear the alarm and we can see lights on the dash that are telling us we have low air. Right around 60 PSI, so that's working correctly. Now we're gonna do the last test, which is around 20 PSI. So we're gonna continue to fan till we get there. And this valve right here will come out automatically. It's an emergency test to make sure that if we lost all of our air on the road, the truck will still come to a stop no matter what. So start fanning. Takes a little while. There it goes. So it forced itself out. The emergency test is successful. It happened around 20 PSI. So that'll be the end of this part of the brake test. So we're gonna do another safe start, make sure the truck is in neutral. Turn the key back over, make sure the brakes are set, they are, and we'll fire up the truck. So we performed another safe start. Now we're gonna take out our list. So we did the first part of the brake check. Now we're gonna use the list. It says to do the parking and trailer brake check and the service brake check next, but we need air pressure for that. So in the meantime, while the truck is building up pressure, we'll check everything else. So we'll start with our horns. The horn is working correctly. If I had an air horn, I would check that as well. Heater and defrost is working. I'm feeling hot air blow into the cab, and I'm feeling hot air blow onto the windshield. So heater and defrost working correctly. Wipers and washers are working. The fluid is also spraying and working. The blades aren't cracked or damaged. Looks good. Windshield and traffic monitoring devices. So I'll check my mirrors, make sure that they are not cracked or chipped. They're clean and clear. There are no illegal stickers blocking my view. and they are also adjusted for me. I'll check my windshield and mirrors to make sure that they are not cracked and chipped. There is no illegal stickers, they're clean and clear, and the windshield seal is not leaking any water. Now we're gonna check our emergency equipment. Seat belt we did in the beginning. Fire extinguisher is right here. We're gonna make sure it's charged and up to date, and it is properly secure and mounted. Back here we have our triangles. We have safety triangles, 3 of them. They're for emergencies when you break down. I know where they're at, they're ready to use. And we have extra fuses, 1 of each kind. That's emergency equipment. The last thing is lighting indicators. So we have our left signal, our right signal, our hazard lights, our low beam, and our high beam lights are functioning. So that's all of our lighting indicators. Now we have enough pressure. So we're gonna start with the parking brake and trailer brake if we had one. This is a Class B, so there would be a red valve. That would be for trailer. We would test both of them. So the parking brake is engaged. We're gonna go ahead and put it in gear and just gently tug against it. We wanna feel it tug, but it should not move. We wanna make sure that the parking brake is gonna hold us in place when we get in and out of the cab. So it is working. Now we're gonna do the last test, which is a service brake test. So I'm gonna release the brake, put it in drive, and drive forward to about 5 miles an hour, and then press the service brake. I'm gonna watch the steering wheel to make sure it doesn't pull to the right or to the left. And I'll explain why that's bad afterwards. So let's get to 5 miles an hour. Press the brake, come to a stop. The steering wheel didn't pull to the left or to the right. Nothing unusual happened. It stopped the truck. If it did pull to the right or left, that would mean that the brakes are not properly adjusted or there's something wrong. That's the last bit of the in-cab inspection before we ask the tester to hop out and check all of the external lights. That's it.